appearing to have answered the Dragon Queen's call, Kalagos. But I wish the other aspects were here with us.
Alexstrasza is still recovering from her last encounter with Razageth. Nasdormu feels the weight of destiny pressing down upon him. It falls to us to take back this prison from the Primalists and ensure the other Incarnates are not.
The Primalists have used their... Then we shall not fail, my friend. Who knows? Kalagos, do you know where the other Incarnates are imprisoned?
Within the core of the mountain, Neltharion himself shaped the earth around the vault to protect it. We must break their lines and stop Razageth before she can free them.
I love it when they cut off the dialogue when I'm trying to showcase the story. So anyways, welcome to the Vault of the Incarnates raid. LFR Wing 1. So, how many of you guys remember Grim Batol from Cataclysm? You guys remember the part where we could hop on dragons in order to fly through and kind of take out as much of the trash as we want to on the way towards the bosses? Well, as you can see, that's kind of what's going on here as well. We get to choose one of the 5 flights, each have different abilities, and then fly through and focus down specific adds that we're going to take on once our assault ends here in a minute. So when I did this on normal, Khadgar was like, take out the big ad elemental over there in the middle, champions. So, whoever is calling the shots here wants us to focus on the ads on the right side. But that's good. If we focus one side and then go down that side, it's going to mean a lot less for us to have to deal with, so... The boss is going to be over there, so... So I hope you guys were able to catch what he was saying, or what the two of them were saying there. So Kalagos and Khadgar are here, but the others are not because they're a little busy, and plus, as he said, Alexstrasza is still recovering from the last time she tangled with Razageth. And of course, Rathian is butting heads with Sibelian. So it's mainly going to be Kalagos and Khadgar with us in this raid. But I'm cool with that, because of course I like both of those guys, and of course it's nice to have Khadgar with us again after all this time. He was with us in the raids a lot in Legion, and it's nice to have him back. Did we win? Well, we have a lot less trash to have to go through here on the side to the boss, so I would say so, yeah. The Vault of the Incarnates. The Primalists breach the Titan prison used to hold the Incarnates for millennia. Within, Razageth performs a foul ritual to unleash her siblings, so together they can purge the world of the Titan's influence. The champions of Azeroth must assault this impregnable fortress and break their defenses to end this threat, while many could fall. Defeat condemns all the realms to the Incarnate's reign of fire and blood. Nice little South Park reference. So upcoming is the first boss in this raid, Aranog. Aranog, commander of the Primalist forces, is relentless in his pursuit of power. With the Incarnate's release imminent, Aranog summons the whole of his army and will not hesitate to sacrifice his devoted followers to achieve victory. So he's the opening boss of the raid, so as you can imagine, he's pretty simplistic when it comes to his mechanics and such as a fight. As you would expect, he's not really that hard of a fight, but that's to be expected.
Best you could muster, Kalagos.
Usually the first boss of a raid is going to be a little easier than some of the others, since it's kind of an entrance for the group.
A band of mewling soft scales following a whelp.
Just so the group can see whether or not they are good enough to actually be here or not.
I'll grind your skulls under my heel.
So he's going to have some familiar mechanics here. One of which is one I definitely recognize from Warlords, especially. So I have, you can see that what we are doing here, in this first wing is going to be Aranog, and then the Primal Council, and then Dathea. Now, for the record, I have not actually fought Dathea yet. I have taken down Aranog and the Primal Council. I did so last night, but I have not faced Dathea, so...
Let us
Dathea, Dathea, however you pronounce it.
of my skill. To cinders! March for destruction!
So, yeah, they're going to get these circles, which are going to spawn portals and adds.
Rally to me!
Which is going to also leave those pools and those spires there.
Burn to cinders!
You're going to hear that a lot. Burn to cinders!
March for destruction! Rally to me! Burn to cinders!
Alright, so the ads are kind of getting a little spread out. Obviously, you want to try and get the ads in here to try and let the group cleave them as much as possible.
Reduce you to
That one's over there, kind of running around. I'm just like, okay, can we get this guy over here, please? I'll even taunt him if I can.
burn to cinders!
Watch your foot.
Surround our
Special
enemies! Leave
Alright, so this is where we then get to another familiar mechanic here with this guy. These primal flames. You see that ring around them? That will instantly kill you if it touches you. So the idea here is that you, of course, want to focus it down, because that's going to break that, and we can all just kind of, alright, get out of there fast. Because if we don't, well, that's obviously going to take us down pretty harshly.
grind your skulls under my
Now, once they get in there, they're going to, burn out and die, but the point is, of course, to try and break out of that circle. I imagine on higher difficulties, that circle is going to be harder to actually bring down.
for destruction!
Range 5.
Rally to me!
Watch your foot. Watch your foot.
I like this trinket in that it's like, oh hey, it's a bunch of AoE damage, but it also does healing to any allies in the area. That's nice.
You to ash!
I like how they're just standing there ignoring the fact that this ad is attacking them. I'm like, can we get the ad over here, please? So we can cleave it down alongside the boss. Just saying that is a thing.
Burn to cinders!
So what you have seen is basically the fight. The ads that spawn with the spires, the big ring. That's basically the fight.
March for destruction!
Like I said, he fits into that category of opening bosses in a raid that's not very complicated in terms of a fight with mechanics and such. He is the entrance to the raid for the group to be like, okay, so we can kind of get an idea as to whether or not we're going to
Enemies! Leave
be able to pull it off in here. So yeah, now he casts the big thing, and we deal with the next army of ads here to try and focus them down, so... Alright, let's not pick two of them, okay? Okay, and I am probably dead. No, never mind. So in LFR, it doesn't kill you. Okay, never mind, now it killed me. So that was my fault for casting I-Beam as that was approaching, because I was going to use Vengeful Retreat to get away, but I got stunned and couldn't do it. And I thought, oh, I guess the ring doesn't kill you in LFR, it just stuns you. Whereas in normal, it will kill you.
March for destruction! Brute brother, I failed you.
Alright, so let's see. Shield, pass.
Think we can take
Cloth, pass.
Doubtful. Razageth was not boasting. The sky is her domain. We must cut the Primalists off from their power before we engage the Storm Eater.
I expect they won't make it easy for us. Champions, when you're ready.
Thanks, Khadgar. So this is Provisioner Tom. He's the NPC you can go to repair your gear. He even has a couple pieces of gear you can get as upgrades if you have enough renown.
Stop by anytime.
I imagine at some point he's going to have a pile of gold next to him, because remember when Blizz did that in Castle Nathria? That one NPC who we would go to repair our stuff all the time, that he just had this huge pile of gold next to him later on? I thought that was really funny when they did that. I was like, oh, Blizz, you jokesters, you. So we'll have to wait and see. So that was a pretty simplistic, relatively easy fight, as you can tell. Just, don't make the mistake I did, which is get caught making a casting ability that has you stand still when you have to keep moving backwards. That was my mistake, and that's my still lack of experience with this fight, in terms of I'm not entirely used to it yet. I've only done that fight once, and once I do it more times, I'll have that more under my belt in terms of knowing, okay, don't cast certain things like I-Beam when that happens, especially when I have the talents that makes me cast I-Beam longer. Because that's also part of my issue, is that I am casting it longer than others, because some will not take the talents that have it cast longer. You guys know what I mean, I'm sure. I'm kind of rambling, but I'm trying to make my point. So up next, we will be facing the Primal Council. These masters of the elements are ruthless in their pursuit of power. Embar Firepath is as merciless as the fire she commands. Opalfang wields the might of the earth to crush her enemies. Kadros Ice Wrath is cold and cruel, while his sibling, Dathia Stormlash, is as wild and unpredictable as a raging storm. So yeah, we're about to actually face Dathia, and then apparently we're going to face Dathia again. I like the fact that we actually kind of face a boss twice. Once in a kind of a regular form with her siblings, but then we're going to face them again as, when they try to get revenge, but like they're kind of like... It's like, give me the power I need to defeat them. It's like, okay. And then it's like, oh, they have the power, but they've like been driven mad and they're not themselves anymore. I mean, we've seen that before, right? Maracas! You face Maraxus! Sorry. I couldn't help it. It sounded similar. You face Maraxus, elemental lord of the Incarnates! It still holds up and resonates to this day. Look, there are just some things that will be timeless, and Jaraxxus will be timeless. Let's be honest, we're always going to remember Jaraxxus. So these we can actually turn in for more Vault Expedition renown.
Do not trust these dragon worshippers. If their aid were not necessary to find our elder, their bones would be adorning our hall.
Their bones.
too far away.
Well, we just popped Bloodlust, so... Let's do it! Let's go!
I need to get closer.
Look. Oh my goodness.
I need a target.
Here they come. Magmus, the servant of Ember. We're not facing the boss yet. We are facing the chief lieutenants. Are we like about to face an ad per member of the council? Because that'd be kind of cool. Ah, this of course is to help teach us the mechanics of the fight. So yeah, this fight, whoo boy. There are various mechanics to keep in mind and work on, which also go against each other.
Does not care who falls into its icy embrace. Your faces will be frozen in horror forever.
Glacius.
It's too far away.
So what you're going to discover about this fight is that, you know, as I said, you use one mechanic to cancel another in this fight. And knowing which one to do, and that's... yeah. I just got frozen.
The earth opens! Blood feeds the earth!
Lomas. You know, in my mind, I'm thinking this would be really fun for, you know, to play as a shaman. But then again, it's not like the shaman can really take advantage of this to rival them, even though he could or should.
Lightning's caress is capricious. One kiss marks you forever.
Oh my. I had no idea you felt that way about us, my dear Dathia. So you'll notice the blue circles. Oh, we are spreading that around a lot. And I just did that myself. I am so sorry.
No matter.
Soon, the Incarnates will be unleashed.
Blood feeds the earth!
Alright, so I think we're resetting because we want to get Lust back. Yep. Because we used Bloodlust on those ads, so we wanted to reset. Okay. So, you got a little sample of the mechanics of this fight from those ads they spawned. So, in order to get rid of those blue circles with the lightning, we're going to have to use these, the spires from Earth. In order to deal with the cold, we're going to have to use the fire from Embar. In order to deal with the fire, we got to use also the spires as well. But rather, we're taking them towards the spires in order to make sure they don't spread all over the place, because otherwise it'll get a little overwhelming in that regard. So yeah, you're probably thinking, well, there's 4 of them, so how would we tank this? Well, some actually experimented with the idea of more than 2 tanks, but basically, 2 of them, I think Opafang and Firepath, are the ones that you're going to have to mainly tank, whereas Ice Wrath and Stormlash are casters, so you don't necessarily have to tank them. We just have to make sure that they keep getting interrupted when it comes to their casts, so they don't hit as hard as the other two bosses do. Now, of course, you want to make sure that you keep all of them clumped up, because then we can take advantage of our cleave. Now, let's see how this group deals with the mechanics of this fight.
Interrupt.
I will.
Interrupt.
Don't really think Bloodlust was really needed here.
Purify you!
The thing is, this fight can't be, it's not a DPS check fight. This is a mechanics fight.
Dust!
So there's the blue mark. You gotta take it to the pillar in order to get rid of it. And try to avoid spreading it to people.
Interrupt.
And as you might imagine, alright, so now that meteor axe right there, you see that? Now, it also needs to be soaked, but as you can see, it had that pillar got removed.
Watch your step.
And stone!
Interrupt. Interrupt.
Be wrapped in the blizzards!
Interrupt.
I see you! Smash!
So now here comes the blizzard. In order to deal with this, with the stacks, once you get to 10 stacks, you get frozen. In order to deal with that, you step into the pile of, into the smoldering fire.
Interrupt.
Because otherwise this happens, where many people get frozen.
Dust! You'll burn nicely.
Range
Back
5.
in the power of the storm.
Interrupt. Interrupt. Watch your step. Interrupt.
Flaming steel, sear your flesh!
Interrupt. Interrupt.
So yeah, what I discovered last night when I was doing this with another guild that invited me to join their progress run here for this in normal, was that this, of course, is not necessarily a fight that you're going to be trying to win immediately. Now, I am committing a... Alright, I'm spreading these quite a bit. Not my intention. I'm just trying to get to the pillars, but they're all just kind of standing right in my way. So it's like, yikes. Get out of my way!
Die, aberration!
As you can imagine also, we need to try and make sure that these get killed as evenly as possible, and so right now I'm seeing Firepath has a lot more health than the others.
Sear your flesh!
So yeah, that needs to be taken to the pillars, but it also needs to be soaked with someone else, because if someone takes it by themselves, they receive more damage.
Watch your step.
Now, I have the advantage of mobility, so I can just kind of make my way around other people a little faster than others to try and get rid of that without spreading it to other people. So far the blue circles have not been awful for our group. The thing that seemed to be the worst for us was the ice. Here comes the blizzard. Let's see how many of us are actually going to deal with this time. Alright, so I have 3 stacks, 4, 5, 6. Stick my toe into the fire.
Interrupt.
These
Oh my goodness.
Interrupt.
See, that's what's really getting our group right now.
Interrupt. Interrupt. Watch your step. Interrupt.
Flaming steel!
Oh, my goodness.
Interrupt.
Very chaotic fight.
Interrupt.
Especially here in LFR with this group. Oh my goodness. We are also not doing a great job of making sure their health. We also lost a tank. Although it looks like we are trying to B-res the tank. Yes, we did.
Dust!
I'm trying to focus DPS on Firepath to try and bring her health down. in comparison to the other bosses. Alright, so I'm going to try and be over here to kind of prevent spreading that, although it looks like I just had a pillar spawn over there. I want to get to Fire Path, but there's a lot of blue circles in the way. So yeah, I'm going to be low on the DPS meter because I'm trying to deal with the mechanics first and foremost. But that's the thing about this fight, is that it's not a fight where you focus on the meters. It's a very mechanic-focused heavy fight. You gotta focus on the mechanics. Not how well you're doing on the meters. Mechanics first and foremost, then focus on the meters and the DPS. Huh.
Interrupt.
Trapped in the
incoming.
blizzard's icy embrace.
Alright, well here comes the blizzard again. 4 stacks, stepped in.
Primal Blizzard.
Wow, that's loud.
Range 5.
Purge these aberrations.
Now fortunately it seems as if the ice tombs are not too bad in terms of how much it takes to DPS them down, but obviously you don't want to be wasting time taking down a whole bunch of frost tombs.
Feel your flesh.
Cold. So
Glacial Convocation.
burn. Nice.
I think we're actually about to one-shot this encounter. I think they realized we had to there we go.
No! You will know my wrath.
And there she goes. We'll be seeing her again in a moment. Alright, so let's see. Offhand? Nope. Trinket. If your mana... No, that's for intellect. Nope. Gonna be passing on those. Plate. Nope. And mace. Nope. Alright, so now we go this way. So yeah, Dathia. So Kadros told Dathia to protect the Storm Meter, and she survived the killing blow. You cannot quiet thunder. And so she has gone off. I assume we're about to see her make a deal with Razageth to get some more power to defeat us. And in the process, well, let's just say Dathia is about to probably get more than she thought she was going to get before we take her down for good. Let's see if, keep in mind, again, I have not actually done this fight. The 4 bosses that I got to encounter and take on and defeat on normal this past week were, was Aranog, the Primal Council, Taros, this guy here, and Senarth. Those are the 4 bosses that I encountered. I have yet to encounter the other 4. But we are about to encounter Dathia Ascended again. Now, I did look up a couple of vids before I recorded this so I could know kind of what I am supposed to be dealing with. And I gotta say, based on what I've seen, it's a good thing I'm playing a Demon Hunter, because we have yet another encounter here that looks like I have a chance to get blown off a platform to my death. But hey, I'm a Demon Hunter, so I should hopefully be okay. Androsis. I love seeing all the various different names of these elementals based on the element. Like Thunderon. Like, come on.
I'm out of range. I need.
So it's funny, I wasn't doing the Essence Break build,
I'm out of range.
But recently I've been like, okay, so apparently a lot of people consider it to be the go-to for Demon Hunters right now. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go ahead and give it a try. And it turns out, yeah, no, it's actually, it does well. Like, it does quite a bit of damage. The other thing is, of course, now that I'm getting my tier pieces, I have to try and kind of cater towards it, because if I don't, I have a feeling I won't be getting the most out of it. So what this tier set for the Demon Hunter this time around compared to, say, Sepulchre is that it looks like it's very much emphasizing critical strike damage alongside Chaos Strike and Blade Dance. So apparently critical strike is actually going to be pretty important in that regard. Nice, man, very nice. That's one of our Death Knights who's part of our guild, and he's also a streamer. Shout out Jesse. Jesse FX, I believe, is his Twitch channel. But he's a pretty awesome Blood DK tank, Mythic Plus. And he plays Frost with us when we raid. So congrats to him. Got a pretty nice, awesome piece of gear there. Now, as usual, Trash is usually going to be helping us out, trying to figure out what exactly we're going to be dealing with in terms of mechanics for the upcoming boss fight.
I don't have a target.
Getting quite a few of these in this run. Aha. An upward draft. Whee!
They killed my brother. My vengeance requires your power.
Quiet, whimpering fool. If I didn't have need of you, you would already be dead. I will grant you a modicum of my strength. It should suffice to deal with these meddlers.
It's too much.
Indeed. This gift will destroy you. Kill them before it does.
Well,
I will not fail.
I'd say she just turned her into an Archon in StarCraft. For those of you who know how Archons function, they basically become a ticking time bomb where they're trying to... Once they fuse into an Archon, they have to try and get as much of their damage and power out as they can before they basically burn out and die. So that's basically what has just happened to Dathia. She is now an Archon with really strong... with power overwhelming! If she says that during this fight, I mean, come on. But yeah, that's basically what's happened to her. She now has power overwhelming, and she has to try and kill us before she dies. Before the power kills her. So...
Feel my fury!
Raging burst.
Nothing can stand against my gale winds!
Stay away from
Winds
lines.
buffet you!
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about those twisters! Now, if you want to know where they're going to go, there's going to be arrows on the ground that will actually show where they're going to go.
Shelter from my storm!
So the people with the blue marks are supposed to spread out to prevent them from being spread to others. Also, you want to make sure you keep away from her, because otherwise she's going to knock you way up into the air.
Stay away from lines.
Buffet you!
Adds cunning.
Scatter like leaves in a hurricane.
So there's an ad that spawns. So that's one of those ads we have to make sure we take down, because otherwise it's going to cause us some issues in this fight.
Range back.
Well, I just got that, and now I just spread that to someone else. Oh yeah, when he dies, he does that.
Range 5. Stay away from lines.
Buffet you.
Range 5.
There is no shelter from my storm.
So yeah, that's what happens. Whee! Now, as you can imagine, for other classes, that's probably painful. For a Demon Hunter, though, I'll just glide down. Not a big deal.
Stay away from lines.
Up. Aha! I avoided your twisters. What now, Dathia?
Adds cunning.
Scatter like leaves in a hurricane.
Oh.
Range 5.
We all have so many marks.
My gale winds.
Knocking back.
Whee! I hope you like getting flung up into the air, because it looks like that's going to happen a lot in this fight. So I don't know what her timer is. This doesn't really feel like a an actual like DPS check encounter, but it also doesn't feel like a mechanic heavy encounter.
Stay away from lines.
Buffet you.
I need to target something.
There we go.
Never breaks.
Aha. That's actually an upgrade. I'll go ahead and roll need on that. See if I get it. I have a 372 helmet at the moment. So, as far as LFR experiences, I would say that wasn't exactly the worst. I've had worse. It actually felt like a pretty smooth run. We did, after all, one-shot Primal Council, which I was kind of surprised about, but sure. Looks like somebody else did get that piece. So I rolled a 95. Wow! I rolled a 95 for that headpiece, and this guy rolled a 98. Oh my goodness. That is some good old dice rolling there. Wow! My goodness. Ugh. So, in case you're curious, well, what does that do for your vault? Well, that does... So, this is how the vault now looks. There are 8 bosses in this, but for the vault, it's just defeat 6 of them for all 3 slots. For doing LFR, you get a 376 piece awarded in there. When I did normal, I believe it was a 389 piece. So obviously I'm going to want to try and do this on normal on my own or with the guild later on. You know, I'll either do it with the guild or pug it, either one. But you know, this is just the first wing. Obviously, once the second wing goes live, and it adds probably 3 more bosses. Because what I'm anticipating is that the next wing will end up being on the other side, which is Taros, Senarth, and then Kurag Grim Totem. And then the final wing will be Brute Keeper, and then, of course, Razageth. So, that was Wing 1 of Vault of the Incarnates LFR. And I will see you guys next time for either that next part of the wing or for another quest line. Probably, considering how close I am to the Tuskar quest line, the Chieftain one, I'm like half a renown level away from that. I'm probably going to go ahead and just try to focus rep for that and then be able to, unlock that quest line and show that quest line to you guys. So in the meantime, stay tuned.